Good day, math learners. So we are already on the week 8, quarter 4 of our Mathematics 9 lesson. So we are already going to have the problems involving your oblique triangles. So in this part, we're going to have the application of the word problems for your oblique triangles using your law of sine and law of cosine. Let's have the first problem from our learner's pocket. So as one of their performance tasks in Mathematics 9, Javan and Renz went to a nearby open field to fly a kite. At one point at a time, Javan realizes that 1,750 feet of his string are out at an angle of 75 degrees. So this is our 1,750 and this is the 75 degrees. And at the same time, the angle formed by the kite and Renz as a flier is 102 degrees. Question is how far is Renz? How far is Renz from the kite? So how far is Renz from the kite? So this is the first one that we have to get. So this is our x. So how far is Renz from the kite? And the second one is how far is Renz from Javan? So this is the second one. So how far is Renz from Javan? So we have to find two answers here. So from our given learner's pocket, so here's the solution. First, we are given with sine A over A. What is that part? So let's name first your A, B, and C. So, hindi kasi malinaw doon. So, ito po yung A, yung location ni Javan. B is the location of kite. And C is the location of Renz. So, that you will further understand. So, why did we use here? Because our given here is your side C, which is 1,750, and your angle CN, which is 102. The first thing that we can get here is your side A. So, yung unang nawawalang x natin. So, sine 75 over A, which is your x. So, we're going to find the given. So, your angle A is 75 degrees. Your angle C is 102 degrees. Ma'am, ba't baliktad? Okay lang po yan kung nauna po yung angle tapos yung side. Or yung side tapos yung angle yung nasa denominator. Pareho lang yung makukuhang answer. So, we're going to give given. Again, we have 102. And then your side C is 1,750. And then your A, which is your X, is your unknown. By cross multiplication, we have 1,750 times sine 75 all over sine 102. Okay, by using your calculator, we're going to have 1728.17 feet. Okay, so that's 1728.17 feet. So that is already the distance of Renz to the kite. Again, that is already the distance of Renz to the kite. Then, we need to find angle B. Bakit? Para makuha natin itong nasa ilalim niya. So, para makuha natin yung angle B, so 180 minus the sum of 75 and 102. And that is already 3 degrees. So, let's write this is 3 degrees. So, let's find now the other one, which is your side B. So, let's use our law of sine again. So, we're going to have B, which is the missing or our side Y, over sine B. So, yan, pakita natin. Pareho lang yung makukuha natin. Is equal to our given, which is your side C over sine C. So, our B is the unknown. We have a sine 3 degrees is equal to 1,750 all over sine 102 degrees. By cross multiplication, our side B is equal to 1,750 times our sine 3 degrees all over sine 102. Then, by using our calculator, we're going to have 93.63. Okay, and this is the distance of Renz to Javan. Again, this is the distance of Renz to Javan. Let's continue from our second example. So, from our second example, San Pablo is known as the city of 7 lakes. 3 of its 7 lakes are Yambo Lake, Calibato Lake, and Palakpakin Lake. Form an triangle on the map. So Yambo is approximately 3 kilometers from Palakpakin and approximately 2 kilometers from Calibato at an angle of 110 degrees. So how far is Calibato Lake from Palakpakin Lake? So if we are going to show that using our triangle, so here is your 110 degrees. This is 3 kilometers and 2 kilometers. The question is how far is Calibato Lake from Palakpakin Lake? So ito hanggang doon. So ito po yung hahanapin natin. So to find that, we're going to use your law of cosine. So we're going to use c squared is equal to a squared plus your b squared minus 2ab cosine c. Let's put our given. Our given are 2 squared plus your 3 squared minus 2 times 3 times 2 times your cosine 110 degrees. So using your calculator, get the square root of both, get the square root of this answer, whole answer, and you're going to have 4.14 kilometers. Okay, and that is a distance of Palakpakin to Calibato Lake. So let's start to answer the engagement part. So there are 3 questions. I'm going to answer number 1. I'm just going to give a clue for numbers 2 and 3. Actually, that's only 3 questions because this one is not a number 2. This is the number 2 and this is the number 3 question. So let's proceed with number 1. So we have here a parallelogram which has a side of 20 centimeters and 25 centimeters. The diagonal opposite the obtuse angle measures 38 centimeters. What is the measure of the obtuse angle? So if we are going to draw that, so let's have a parallelogram. Okay, wait, let's use this one. A parallelogram. Okay, which has 20 centimeters and 25 centimeters measurement. The diagonal opposite the obtuse angle. So this is the obtuse angle. This is the acute angle. So the diagonal opposite the obtuse angle. So this is it. Okay, measures 38 centimeters. The question is, what is the measure of the obtuse angle? So ito po yung nawawala. So we're going to use your law of cosine. So to find that, let's use some letters. Let's name this as your side A, angle B, and then this is angle C. So we're going to look for side angle C. So we're going to have cosine C is equal to the two sides. So we're going to have your A squared plus your B squared minus C squared all over 2 times A times B. Our A is 25 squared plus your 20 squared minus your 38 squared over 2 times 25 times 20. Then you're going to get the inverse of that value, and what you're going to have is 114.77 degrees. And that's the answer for our number 1. Let's proceed now with number 2. So I'm just going to give you a clue on how you're going to answer this one. So we have to analyze the picture that was taken during the school-based Math Camp 2019. The measures of the distances between two given points are in meters. Your task is to find the distance between student A and B or the value of C. So this is student A and this is student B. So we're going to find this distance. So we have here an angle 110. We have the sides 2.5 and 1.5. So you can use here your law of cosine. So to find your C, you're just going to have your 2.5 squared plus your 1.5 squared minus 2 times your 2.5 times 1.5 times your cosine 110 degrees. And then you just get the square root of that value. Okay? And that is already the answer. Next, you have two fast food establishments, Jollibee and McDonald's, and the St. Paul Hermit Cathedral are located along San Pablo Town Plaza. They make the approximate measurements shown in the picture. So your task is to find the distance between the cathedral and McDonald's, or the value of B. So we have here, let's highlight those values. So this is 150 degrees. So you can see this is 205 meters. This is 10 degrees. And this is the value of B. So to find this one, we need to find the value of angle C, or this one, yung sa McDo. So to find that, we have to subtract. Okay, kuhanin, bigay na din po natin. So we're going to have 180 minus 150 minus 10. So 180 minus 150 minus 10 degrees. This is 20 degrees. Let's use red. So this is 20 degrees. Then since you already have that as your C, what you're going to do is your law of sine to find B. So this is how you're going to do it. So the value of your C over sine C is equal to the value of B, which is the known, over sine B. Then just cross multiply to find the value of B. Okay, let's proceed. So we now have your assimilation. So under your assimilation, we have 3 questions again. So out of those 3 questions, I'm going to answer the first one and just going to give a clue for the second and the third. Let's proceed. First question, a triangular parcel of land that will be used as a garden with points A, B, and C was to be fenced as a project of SJNHS. Let's write first the letters. So we have here your B and C, which is visible. B and C, and this is your A. So let's locate again. This is your A, this is your B, and this is your C. Then this is 4 meters. This is 52 degrees, and this is 25 degrees. What we need here is to find the amount of fencing materials to be used. So we only have the 4 meters. So we need to find the measurement of each side. Okay, let me erase first this one so that we can have space later on. So we need to find first your angle B. So to find your angle B, that's 180 minus the sum of those two angles, which is 25 and 52. And if we're going to subtract it, the value of angle B is 103 degrees. Tama ba? 103 degrees. So that's the value of your angle. So that's 103 degrees. So if we are going to plot again those points, so that when we erase those triangles, we already have the given. So this is A, B, and C. This one is 52. This is 25, and this is 103. This one is 4. So what we need to find is the value of this side and this side. Okay. So to be able to find that, we're going to use law of sine. So let's start with finding your side B. So to find this, let's have first these two partners. So we have 4 over sine 25 is equal to, let's find first your C. So C over sine 52. So cross multiplication, you have the value of C will be equivalent to 4 times your sine 52 all over your sine 25. We're going to use your calculator. What we're going to have is 7.46. Then the other one, we can also use, okay, let's have lines. So 4 over sine 25 is equal to B over your sine 103. So that's this one. So cross multiplication, the value of B is equal to 4 times your sine 103 all over sine 25. So using your calculator, what you're going to have is 9.22. And we're not done yet. So we're going to find the amount of fencing materials. So to find the fencing materials, you just have to add all. So that is 7.46 plus 9.22 plus your other side, which is 4. So if we're going to add all, this one is 9.22. So all in all, that is 20.70, 20.68, 20.68 meters. Okay. Then for number 2, so we are given here with at Sampaloc Lake, a boatman sights a buoy at an angle of 28 degrees to the boat's path. So he continues on the same course for a distance of 150 meters, then sights the same buoy at an angle of 40 degrees. To the nearest meter, how far is the boat from the buoy at the second sighting? So to be able to answer this one, so let's find first the unknown. So this is your 40 degrees, this is your 28 degrees, and this is the 150 meters. What we need to find is this location or distance from this place up to here. So since this is 40 degrees and this is a linear pair, we would therefore conclude that this is 140. So this is the 140 degrees. So if I'm going to show that, so this is the 40. Ito yung 140. And this one is the 28. And this is the 150. Okay. Ito yung 150. What we need to find is this one. Okay. So let's have, so what you need here is the law of sine. So what you're going to have here is 150 over sine 12 is equal to x over sine 28. Ma'am, saan galing po yung 12? So 12 po to. And then, ito po yung 12. Bakit naging 12? Kasi 180 minus 140 minus 28, that's 12. Then, by using law of sine, so 28 over at 150 over sine 12 is equal to x, which is the unknown, over sine 28. Okay. Let's proceed with number 3. So, given there, if a hiker travels an average of 2.5 miles per hour, how long will it take? How long? So, it's talking about time. Take him to travel from the cave to the waterfalls. So, around the nearest 10 of an hour. So, actually, you cannot use this one. What you need is a formula for time. So, to find your time, okay, let's just use this one. So, we're going to have the value of distance over the given rate. What is the distance? The distance is the one that we are going to compute. The rate is this 2.5 miles per hour. So, what you need is to find this side, C. And you're going to get that using your law of cosine. So, to find that, you're going to have your 4 squared plus your 3 squared minus 2 times 4 times 3 times cosine 71.7 degrees. Then, you're going to get the square root of that. And then, you have your C. But that's not what you need. So, to get your time, that's the value of your distance, the C, over the rate. Again, this is the C. Compute first that C. And then the rate, ito yung 2.5 miles per hour. That's how you're going to answer number 3. For the assessment, first question. To find the distance AB across a river, a distance of 354. So, let's have first a triangle here. So, let's draw a triangle. So, this is your A, B, and C. So, we have here the distance BC is 354 meters. So, this is your BC. This is 354 meters. It's laid off on one side of the river. It is found that B, angle B, is 112. degrees and your C is 15 degrees. Okay, find AB. So we need to find this side. We need to find AB round to the nearest meters. So we need to get first this angle. So we just have to subtract it from 180 degrees. So your A is equal to 180 minus 112 minus 15. So the value of your angle A is 53 degrees. So if you already have your angle A, we can now use your lop sign to find our x. Okay, so to find that, you're just going to have the partner, which is 354, and that's 53 degrees. So 354 all over your sine of your 53 degrees is equal to the unknown and that opposite angle. So x over your sine 53 degrees. Cross multiply, you're going to have the value of x is equal to 354 times your sine 53 all over, oh, I'm sorry, this must be sine 15. My mistake. So this must be sine 15 degrees. So this must be sine, I'm so sorry for that. So this is sine 15 all over sine 53 degrees. And again, using your calculators, you're going to have 114.7 as the answer for that question. So for the rest, I'm just going to give you a clue on how you're going to have the answers. Let's have number 2. So we have here a diagram that shows the relative positions of Earth, Mars, and the Sun on a particular date. So what is the distance between Mars and the Sun on this date? So round to the nearest million miles. So we have here the given. So the Sun, Mars, and Earth. So we need to find the distance from Mars, and the Sun. So what we need is to find the distance between Mars and the Sun. So to find that, so we already have the 169 degrees, then the 91.6. So we need to find each part para makarating tayo dito. So let's start. Let's start by finding the side, which is this one. Okay. So that's 224 over sine 169 is equal to 91.6 over your angle of Mars. So that's 224 over sine 169. Sila yung magkatapat. Equals 91.6 over your angle of Mars. That's angle M. Then, a sine angle M. I'm sorry, so sine angle M. Then, you cross multiply. If you already have the value of your angle M, so this one. So, if you already have your angle M, okay, you can already have your Earth o yung angle of Earth because you need that later. So, that's 180 minus 169 minus the angle that you can get on this formula. If you already have the value of your angle of Earth, so you can already have or use your law of sine again. So you start again with your 224 over sine 169 is equal to, okay, which is your unknown. Let's name it as x all over sine of your angle of Earth, which is the one that you can get here. So that's how not cross multiply. Then you can get the value of your x. Let's proceed. Okay, I have already explained that. Okay, we have here from the rooftop of a building, Nestor observes a tree and a house. The angle of depression of the tree is 40 degrees and that of the house is 25 degrees. If the distance between the tree and the house is 11.25 meters, find the distance of Nestor from the house, round to the nearest hundreds of a meter. So that's how you're going to illustrate this one. So here's Nestor, here's the tree, and here's the house. So the angle of depression to the tree is 40 degrees. And the angle of depression to the house is 25 degrees. So if you're going to subtract that to find this angle, so that's 40 minus 25, that's 15 degrees. What we need to find is the distance of Nestor to the house. And we can simply use law of sine here because we already are going to have a triangle here, an oblique triangle. And if we're going to solve that, what we need here is your the value of your angle, which is 100, and this is 25. So we're going to have, this is your x. You're going to have the value of here we need the value of angle. O yun, kailangan muna natin yung angle na yon. So bigay na natin yung angle na yon. So 180 minus 15 minus 25. So that is 140 degrees. So to find that x, we're going to have partner 15 and 11.25. So it's 11.25 all over sine 15 degrees is equal to the value of our x all over sine 140. Simply cross multiply and you're going to have the answer. Next, we have points A and B are on the opposite sides of Yambo Lake. So we have a triangle here again. So let's draw again another triangle. Okay, so we have A, B, and C. From a third point C, the angle between the lines of sight to A and B is 46 degrees. If AC is 350 meters and BC is 286 meters, find AB. So your unknown here is here. So your x. So what you need to find this, you need your law of cosine because you have your two sides and one angle in between. So to find that x, you just need your law of cosine. So that is b squared plus your a squared and minus 2ab cosine c. So that, let me change that one to c. Okay, this becomes cosine c. So just input all our given and then I am sorry for this one. So we're going to have this as C. This must be C squared. This is our C. So then just get the square root and you're going to have the answer. Last one. So a weight is supported by cables attached to both ends of a balance beam as shown in the figure. What angles are formed between the beam and the cables? So we need two angles here, this angle and this angle. Let's name this as your angle X and this is your angle Y. So what we need, or we are given with three sides. So we need here your law of cosine to find our unknown angles. Let's start with X. So to find our x, so your angle x, let's say that's cosine x. We're going to use these values. So we're going to have 45 squared plus your 90 squared minus yung katapat niya, 60 over 60 squared. All over 2 times 45 times 90. Then, you're going to have the inverse of cosine and you already have the value of your angle. Again, you're going to get the inverse of your cosine and the answer for this one to get the value of the angle. Then for y, you're going to have 90 squared plus your 60 squared, then yung katapat niya, this is squared, minus 45 squared. All over 2 times 90 times 60. Then, get the inverse again of your cosine and then the answer to this value, or by using your calculators, what's the answer? Then inverse of cosine and you're already going to have the value of your angle y. So that's how you're going to answer your assessment number 5. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, class, for the whole grading or whole quarter that we're able to finish the Mathematics 9. And that's all for our lesson from first grading to the fourth grading of Mathematics 9. I hope I was able to help all of you in answering your modules using my video tutorial. So that's all. Thank you and see you again on our next school year of lesson. Goodbye!